in my opinion, drum kits, it's like releasing an album. I try to see it the same way by doing a cool rollout and working on not only the product, but also to make it like a good experience, like finding some good visuals, make everything fit and work well together.
A lot of producers go crazy over pedals. But I think over time you've also become more minimalist because you realize like that just takes so much time, money and effort.
It's literally insane. At some point I just felt like I was not really using it too much anymore.
Yeah.
I realized like nowadays I'm doing everything inside my computer, not really necessary for my creative process anymore. But I need to give credit to Nautica because I was always trying to put the kick on the one. It's like just standard, everybody does it.
Yeah.
But she actually showed me like, okay, you don't gotta do that. You can just put your kick in really weird places and get those completely different bounces out of that just by moving one thing around.
When other people are selling sample packs, I see the comments. It's like fire emoji, fire emoji. When you drop something, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? This is crazy. How do you get the bounce? There are like so many questions. What's the number one question you hate when people ask?
What's on your master? You know, look at this project, bro. Look what's on the fucking master.
Welcome to the Future Dance Podcast. I'm your host, Ramencoke, and today we're joined by none other than Charlie Gokay, who's better known as Cryptic. He is a visionary German music producer and an exceptional sound designer who has crafted tracks for global artists like Six Lack, DC The Don, Dro Kenji, Forever Friday, and has collaborated with many of the music's top industry heavyweights. With over hundreds of international tracks under his belt and a six-figure business built on his sought-after sample packs, Cryptic has left an incredible mark on the producer community. And if you're a music producer, there's a big chance you've got one of his sample packs in your arsenal. And what makes this episode special is that Cryptic rarely steps out in the public spotlight. He doesn't even show his face.
Okay.
But his decision to join us in this podcast signals that he's switching things up moving into 2025, embracing new ways of connecting with the creative community. So let's dive into the mind of Cryptic and explore the future of sound. Cryptic, welcome.
Welcome, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the great introduction. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to get into it. I think it's going to be a really interesting episode. And yeah, super excited about it. Let's get it.
Oh yeah, man. Fuck. Let's dive back into like your background. What got you started into making music even?
So I already got like a big interest in making music since like first grade. My parents got me like a guitar in like first grade, and I kind of had like guitar lessons in school. So that's like kind of how I got my like first contact into music. And then I didn't really took it serious. It was just like a, childhood like hobby basically. But then after a couple of years at like age 11, 12 or something, a friend of mine hit me up and asked me for beats because he wanted to start rapping. And I was like, okay, I can do it. I already had like a little bit of introduction into like making music. I already done it at FL Studio like 2 years prior, I think.
Yeah.
So I already knew like the basic stuff and everything, but then it was time to really get into it. And I just started like watching YouTube tutorials basically, and then just started doing it. And it was so much fun to me that I just kept going since then, and I never really stopped. So yeah, that's how I basically got into all of this.
Yeah. What kind of YouTube tutorials did you watch back then?
A lot of Nick Mirror. Like Nick Mirror was my goal.
Yeah.
Like whole Internet Money channel, to be honest. Also like Tess Taylor, he was also like doing more. I think he did like a couple tutorials back then, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of that. Also, of course, like you can't forget Busy World Beats, man. He is
of
one
course.
of the goats in the
The
community.
legend.
Yeah, man, true legend. So I think like those two mainly, and there was like a few more, but I think like Internet Money was like probably the biggest, where I just was, okay, it's possible to just, make music on your computer and be like, and get somewhere with that. So yeah, that really opened up some doors for me, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like when Internet Money started out, they did some crazy stuff, crazy content, and they were actually one of those modern groups that like changed everything for the community.
Yeah, they were like pioneers, basically.
Yeah.
Like they were really like the first ones who really like took the producing to like the internet and really show like what's possible there. And I learned so much. So really like shout out, especially Nick Mirror, like shout out to him. Like I learned so much stuff from him. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, shout out the team Internet Money, man. They're still killing it, which is crazy.
Yeah,
like it's
absolutely. It's so cool, man.
I don't know how they're doing it.
To just be in business for like I think it's probably over 10 years now. It's like fucking crazy. It's like so cool to just see also their success. Also, like back then, when like the first Juice WRLD tracks came out,
Yeah.
it was because of In That Money, really. Like Nick Mirror posted like the SoundCloud links of like all words are the same, posted on
Yeah.
SoundCloud. Listening to that shit when it had like 500 views, I was like, damn, this shit is cool. But it was also like a little bit weird because that was like the first time I heard like those like loud as 808s in beats.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like so confused. I was like, why is it so loud? Why is it like so clipping? But nowadays that's like the sound everybody's going for. Everybody has like those loud 808s. So it's really crazy to see that progress back then and to really see like this artist blew up from like 500 views literally on SoundCloud to like millions and one of the most like well-known artists on this hip-hop space. It's crazy. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
you know what's crazy? Speaking of loud 808s, I remember when like you used to post beats, you were very like beat battle oriented guy.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
were. Dive into that. Like, I mean, also that time there was like a trend of like beat battling type beats. What made you get into like creating sort of like a whole catalog of beats like that?
To be honest, I just wanted to explore. I always had so much fun like just making
Yeah.
music, like not really thinking about like the results or what I can do with it. It was just for me just to be able to create and express myself really. So that's why I was literally I did like I was working at a hospital back then. Um
Whoa.
in as a nurse pretty much. At like after 6 months or something, I dropped out of this because I felt like it was not really the right thing and there was some other things going on there. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna do music now. And I had like also thanks to my parents, I had like they supported me back then, but I had like all the time to just focus really on music, just on creating. I didn't really had any financial responsibilities back then. I was just able to just make beats literally like 12 hours a day. And that's what I did basically. And also I think because you mentioned like this beat battle type of beats, I think that basically came because I started from like more of this like EDM type of music, like
Yeah, yeah.
Martin Garrix and like those type of guys. They were like also my inspirations before, you know. So I was always interested in, you know, like working on like little details, making automations, making sounds like move within the mix. So I think that's where the inspiration or why you think it's like more beat battle type beats because I already always paid so much attention to like details and it was always something that I had so much interest in. So I think yeah.
Yeah, I think from that time I was very inspired by Martin Garrix, like when Animals came
Yeah,
out, and I was also
yeah,
inspired
yeah.
by Hardwell a lot. And then
Wait,
Hardwell?
oh hell yeah, yeah. Oh my god, one of the goats as well, man.
Oh my
This
God,
EDM shit was so cool back then.
the Dutch people, man,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And I
Also
think,
Avicii, of course. If we
oh,
already
I
on
was
that,
just going to
Avicii
say,
also.
I started
Yeah.
making beats just because of Avicii. Once
Yeah.
levels dropped, I think it just changed the whole dynamics for music production for me.
It's also so cool to see, you know. I recently the documentary came out that probably every
Yeah,
music producer watched, and it was so cool to see also his story again, but also to see if you put something in your mind and if you manifest it, you can really do it. And he's also like just a producer, you know. He's not a singer. He's not a full like artist who
mhm,
performs like with his voice. He's performing with his tools, which is his computer.
yeah.
So I feel like that's also like so inspiring for more modern producers who want to take different road to just see that progress that it's possible to just be successful with your own stuff. You don't really got to rely on other artists using your stuff or on this or that. You can just do what you want if you truly love it and just put it out in the world. And it's possible to make your dreams come true, which is so cool.
Yeah, I mean that's so true. And you've been on like a journey where you're also kind of like how can I best say this? You're like developing like this new artistry. You're like trying to find out more about yourself, and then you're
Yeah.
also expressing it out to the world lately, even more than before. And you I guess you're getting like a feedback from your own community and seeing how they engage with it. Like, do you see yourself as an artist or do you see yourself as a producer? I see you as an artist for sure.
Yeah, so that's think to be honest, I always saw myself more like an artist. Like that's always something I wanted to do. As I said, I was inspired by Martin Garrix. Those are like all artists. Even
Yeah.
if there's like technically they're like producers, but it's more seen like an artist. So I was always trying to do more than just, being a beat maker who just makes beats literally. Like I was always trying to express myself. I tried to do it more in the producer community by dropping drum kits, for example, which is, in my opinion, drum kits for me, it's like releasing an album. It's like I try to see it the same way by like doing a cool rollout and working on not only the sounds that you like, not only the product, but also to make it like a good experience, like finding some good visuals, make everything fit and work well together. That's always something I was really interested in. So I feel like I was always kind of more like an artist, and I always wanted to go more in this route. But now I just felt like it was time to really take the step and actually make it like reality by starting to put out my own music on Spotify, Apple Music, like all the streaming services. So right now I'm just making it official.
About damn time.
Right. Yeah, it's
Fuck
time.
yeah.
I also can't wait to show you. Like I got some stuff coming already, but I have so many things planned right now for the rest of the year. So it's going to be a real exciting exciting journey for sure. I'm super excited for that.
It sounds like you're setting yourself to become a DJ.
Yeah, kind of. Like I'm really introverted, so I'm not really a person who loves like big crowds or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But just like if I'm just thinking about like playing my own music in front of like thousands of pupils, I'm just getting goosebumps. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. Like I feel like sometimes as producers we limit ourselves like a little bit and being like, yeah, we can
Definitely.
just do samples and I'm a sample maker or I'm just like a drum guy or I'm just like a beat maker or whatever. But I feel like there's so many like mediums we can explore. It's not only music. It's like visuals. It's sound design. It's even doing photos, for example. It's
Yeah.
like everything can come together in a really nice way. And I just realized that over the last couple months that this is what I truly love. It's creating an experience by making visuals, sound design, music,
Yeah.
concept, identity, to put everything together in one is like the thing that I really want to do. Like that's truly me. Um,
Yeah, because
so yeah,
music is at the end of the day a very creative output. So like you wanna
yeah,
not just with the music, but also when you're doing visual stuff,
yeah,
it just goes so hand in hand, and it just you become like another person when you're doing all the other aspects too, and it like
yeah.
fuels the music as well.
Yeah. And I think to answer your question about the DJ stuff, I think I want to go into like more of this DJ type of route. I think it's going to take a little bit more time, but I'm
Yeah,
preparing right now. Like this year is going to be more for like just, making the transition more to just upload my music, build like make the fan base bigger
yeah.
and just build on that. And then probably like next year, I'm going to start doing like more DJ stuff. I still got to learn. I don't know shit about it. Like I don't know how to use anything of that.
That gets me fucking excited, because you
Okay.
we're making like when I'm making beats for so many artists in mind, and then
Yeah.
when I'm coming to make beats myself, it's just like I get anxious and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? The point of making music is like to express my emotions, get in touch with my feelings,
Yeah.
and then
That's what it should all be about. You should be able to express yourself through the music pretty much. Now, I feel also like for those type beats, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to make like a Drake type beat or I'm going to make like Young Thug type beat or whatever today. I feel like always it should be the other way around. You should make a beat and then maybe think like, oh, this is like a Travis Scott type beat. This is like this and that. So I feel like some people like kind of work like that where it's like more, I want to make something that fits to that, but I feel like it should be the other way around, to be honest. Like that's just some note that I want to share because I feel like that
yeah,
way you make more unique stuff and then you can, type beats is just like a way of labeling. It's not like a genre or anything. It's just like a way on how to market yourself on YouTube, pretty much, in my opinion, at least.
I
Um,
think type beats
yeah,
is like such a perfect training ground for producers.
yeah,
Because
it
they're
is.
learning how to create beats, they're learning how to structure, they're also learning how to put themselves on YouTube. And then
Yeah,
they realize that that's not for them. And
yeah,
they ultimately start making beats like differently. And
Yeah.
I definitely am very grateful that even I'm pretty sure you did that too, doing type beats. That's actually like such a perfect training ground.
I mean, it's also like it shows you not only like how to do the typing channel, but it also shows you how to run a business pretty much. Like that
Yeah.
was my start on how to do it. Like I was just like, that's like how I got like my first recognition. It was through YouTube because I was uploading type beats almost every day or every second day. I
Hmm.
had like 500 beats on there. Um it's crazy and it's incredible. But at some point I've just felt like it was not really for the art. It was more like selling a product, and that's not really what I felt like comfortable with. It was more like, just selling a lease for like those $30 or like those
Right.
$50, and it just felt like wrong to me that an artist or like 20 artists have like the same beat purchased from
Yeah.
me, like purchase a lease. It didn't felt like art at all. It just felt like selling a product, and that's something that I never really want to do. I want to make art. I want to create. I want to you know uh, translate what I'm feeling when I'm making music and show and translate that to other people. I don't want to be the guy who just sells like a type beat and then just 30 other guys have the same beat and you can just release it and I don't really care what's happening. That's also something that I noticed in this type beats phase. Whenever someone purchases these, I never really heard like the music that they created. It was just like really like so unpersonal. It was just
Hmm.
like they purchased like this lease, put out the song on their own, sometimes didn't really credit it like the producer. And then it just felt like, you just purchased like a beat of me, which was like personal to me. And
Yeah.
then you made something on your own, upload it. I don't really know what's going on and
No
just
engagement at all. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it was really like a good start, and also to get into like the type beat community and the producer community was a great way to start and to get into that for sure. But at some point, I just realized, okay, that's not really what I want to do or what I want to continue to do. So yeah,
For new producers that are watching this, is there any community that you would recommend that people can get into? Like Internet Money is one. I think
oh yeah,
Where's the Cookup? I don't know if you
yeah,
know about
great
that.
guys, great guys. Ain sounds, I think Ain sounds in way where the Cookup is kind of like the same.
Hmm.
Same guys. So yeah, I can really recommend those guys for sure. Great guys. Otherwise, I feel like Waves is really doing something
Yeah.
crazy right now. Because you can literally sell your own samples on there and kind of start building a community. But otherwise, I feel like it's all about just finding the people that like your music and kind
Hmm.
of build with them and kind of start your own community with it. I mean, there's so many like coexisting communities inside the producer community,
Hmm.
which can all exist, but it's time to, if you're new, like just try to build your own like community within the producer community. Really, that I
Yeah.
feel like
Or you
that's.
could join the Sound Scientist Academy.
Or you can join the Sound Scientist Academy and also be connected on there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get into Sound Scientist Academy and how you
Yeah.
thought of doing that? I mean, I took a part of it. I did, what was it, the October,
I think it was
November?
the November actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
November.
I had such a great experience, and like
Happy
the
year, bro.
like the course outline you did, you actually exceeded everyone's like perception of what you were going to do.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Going into it, I didn't think much. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a course, it'll be worth it for sure. But then like you took our brain and like threw it out the window. That's what you basically did. You're like, fuck your mindset, think different.
This is the new mindset. Yeah, that's the mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, how I started with that, I feel like it was just I was already doing like kind of production classes, more like personal. I didn't really did it officially, but I was doing like or offering like production classes just on my Instagram stories. I was like, yo, anybody who wants to participate can join me and can learn from me if they want to learn like whatever. But it was more simple. It was just like a 2 hour class that I did with everybody on Zoom, and then just talked about whatever topic the students like. But then I was at some point I wanted to take it to the next level, and then shout out to my manager Max, who I can't thank
Shout
enough.
out.
He's like the best guy ever. I'm fucking proud to even know this guy. He's like genius. Without him, there would be no Cryptic. Um,
Oh.
he's really like yeah, it would maybe be Cryptic, but it would be like different, Like he
Yeah.
on so many things, and it's crazy. And he kind of had like the idea for this academy. to scale it like bigger, to not only do like those production tests. He was like, yo, you're doing those tests, why not make it like more officially, make it like bigger, put some more concept behind it. And then I was like, okay, let's do it. Then I planned it with him together. He helped me like finding some cool topics. We brainstormed a little bit, and then I just came up for like I came up with this program which consists of 3 different classes. One is like drums, so I'm going to talk about how you can create rhythm, how you find like good sounds for your drums, how you can arrange beats, all of that. Second class would be about composing, so I would break down like a few of my samples that I did, show you like some cool techniques you can use for your own samples, arrangement stuff as well. And then for the third class, it was about sound design. So about like how you can make your own sounds for your drum kits, for example, interesting techniques, and really just like how you can make the sounds that you hear in your head. Really, that's what it was all about. And so we just found like this concept, and then it was just a matter of like, putting it out there. Created like this sub website on my website called Sound Science XYZ. That's where I'm also doing my drum kits or selling my drum kits, and also where I'm where you can get some more information about the academy and actually book your spot. And I just put it online, did some like little promo for it, and then just try to I was not really expecting too much from it, to be honest. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it, like whatever happens. And then there was like so much interest on the first month already, so I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to do that. And after I did like first couple classes, I was like, okay, this is also something that I'm really interested in. Like, it's so much fun for me to teach other people and show them what I'm doing, pretty much like just breaking down whatever I'm using, and to teach like the next generation of producers. I feel like that's also something that really, it just makes me feel warm whenever I'm doing like one of those classes, and then one student hits me up after and it's like, yo, I learned so much from this class. This kind of changed my perspective on this. Like, I was so inspired after that I made this crazy ass beat. And that's all I'm trying to really do. I'm trying to inspire others, and I feel like that's the greatest feeling or the greatest gift ever. If you are able to make art by yourself, that people like so much that they get inspired by it. I mean, that's the best feeling ever. Like, no money in this world I would trade that for,
Yeah, I remember like Twinzel, I think he was in my batch. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Twinzel, shout out Twinzel. Like, I remember when
great guy, bro, great guy.
Yeah, amazing guy. Like, right after your sessions with him, he would always like go crazy and like dig deep, and then he would be like, "Oh my God, this thing that I learned here was so insane. It blew my fucking mind. I cannot believe you could do drums like this. I could not believe you could make samples like this." And I was like, "Whoa." That's when you were doing the sessions with me, and I was like, I had an outer body experience. Like, I had to experience not from my perspective, but from an outside perspective. Because I realized what you are providing, which you are different from other producers, I meant, like, you are providing like you're showing how to give people a sound experience. It's not just making beats, it's about providing the people the experience. So you're doing a lot of rhythm creation, sound selections, arrangement, and you go very crazy on your candies. And like your mixing techniques are also...
the details, bro. The details we talked about earlier, that's no, it's called candy, but it's really just like details, I feel like it's just like music should be... I just want to show people like music should be fun. It is fun to create. It's not like a job that you use to make money. If you just want to make money, like, you can do 1,000 other things, there's so many, even in this world nowadays. I mean, if you have your phone, you can be a fucking millionaire. It's like, really, it's crazy. But I feel like music should be all about like fun and enjoying like the process, really. And I just want to showcase that and give people that feeling back. It's not like, oh, how can I be successful, and be like, oh, how can I do that, or work with like those biggest producers. Like, just make the music that you want, enjoy the process, and everything else will fall in place. It's just about like first of all, you gotta have fun with it. That's the most ever. I feel like everything else just comes after that. And that's also something that's like kind of my mission that I want to bring to people, to enjoy the process of just creating, like, not really marketing or like how you can brand yourself or how you can show yourself to the outside world. It's more about internally how you like be happy while creating. I'm sitting here like sometimes fucking 2 a.m. with a big ass smile, just making music. I'm looking like the fucking like an idiot, bro. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, yeah, this is so much fun all alone by myself, But that's really what the magic of music is, man. It's so cool. I feel like music, it's its own language. It's a language
I
that we
agree.
all can speak. It's something like everybody can understand. Like no matter where you're from, like you can be
Mm-hmm.
from the whole other side, which is the case right now. I mean, I'm in Germany. You like in Canada, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like
Vancouver.
a whole like other side of the world, and we can talk to each other, and we are like just through the music we know each other. Like if I would not do music and you wouldn't do music, like
Yeah.
there's no chance really. Like maybe you never know what happens, but um like it's
You're
so
so locked in, you
beautiful.
probably would not see me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, also, I wouldn't do music. I wouldn't be on Instagram or any social media. I
Yeah.
would just, do something else, and maybe didn't even knew people like from outside of Germany, So it's crazy how much it can do for you, just for like the human connection you can get out of this, by just making music, being online, being present, of course, but just it's so crazy to me, man. I can't really
No,
put
no,
a
I mean I agree, but like it's like especially like when you're making music. Yeah, yeah, I wanna get into this. Like, what kind of an environment do you create? Like, the vibe is super important for a producer, I believe. Like having a great atmosphere, having a great vibe, having the safe space to like make something, create something. Can you
yeah.
describe how your environment is?
I can't really show it too much, but it's
Mm.
really simple. It's like I'm having a little studio in my bedroom, just like some speakers. I have two pair of speakers. One is like
Yeah.
the Neumann speakers, which I'm mainly using, and the other pair is like a pair of HS8. And then I just have an interface pretty much, and Xbox where I play State 3 sometimes. But that's literally it. Like I feel like it shouldn't really be about like how much gear you got or how
Yeah.
many pads or synthesizers, all of that. I mean, it's always cool to have that and play with it,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's not really necessary to create like good music. Like good music comes. It's not about like what tools you have. It's like how you use your tools that you already own.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like just the environment. It should just be like you said. It should be like a safe space where you can just be yourself without like, acting or whatever. You can just like truly be like 100% yourself and just make, yeah,
Just
just
keep
free to
making
create.
shit ton of beats.
Yeah. And I feel like it always should be the case. Like I'm always, of course, if I have the opportunity to work in a studio with a nice view, I would always prefer that. I'm loving
Yeah.
that, but same time, it's about the people. I mean, you can be in the best studio in the whole world, but if it's like not with the right people, that where you feel like, oh, I gotta act like different. Can't be really myself.
Mhm.
It's not really like it's not gonna do anything. But if you're like in the shittiest studio ever, which looks like crack, but with the right people, it's gonna be an amazing session. So it's more about like the people you are with, you are making music with, and just how you feel in that type of space. It doesn't really, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter like what gear is like there or what tools you can use there. It's more about just like the right feeling in that room. I feel like that's the most important
Yeah.
always
Because I
for everything.
remember you used to post a lot of stuff about like the like pedals and everything that you had, and like a lot of producers go crazy over pedals. Oh, what is this person using? But I think over time you've also become more minimalist because you realize
Yeah.
like that just takes so much time, money, and effort. But I just want to focus on creating now.
It takes a lot of money. Like buying synths and buying pedals takes so much money. It's crazy. It's literally insane. But yeah, at some point I just felt like I was not really using it too much anymore. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, fuck it. Like I can also just sell it, and then invest the money in something else that I can take like more use from. And I also realized like nowadays I'm doing everything inside my computer. Like I don't really need any like if I'm in the
Hmm.
studio with synthesizer, of course I'm going to use it. It's going to be fun, but it's not really necessary for my creative process anymore. I'm just I have like all my plugins that I want. I know how to tweak like
Hmm.
certain things so I can make it sound like how I want it to sound, and that's all that I really need from that. So yeah, but there was a time where I had like when I got like the first like bigger check from making music, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go crazy now. I'm gonna buy this synthesizer, like bunch of pedals. I had like so many pedals, but yeah, at some point I just realized like, fuck it,
Just collecting dust.
Yeah, it was literally just looking cool. I was buying, at some point I was buying pedals because it looked cool and I didn't really use them. I had like this one pedal that I had here that just looked like really cool, but I was not really, I used it like 2 times in my whole life. And I was like, okay, like
Or the microcosm?
it was like a Chase Bliss pedal. I think it was the
Ah.
Warped Vinyl pedal by Chase Bliss back then. And I was using this on like 2 or 3 songs or samples or whatever. And then I was just like sitting there and I was like, okay, why I should just get rid of it and now use the money for something else. So yeah.
Yeah, plugins have come such a long way too. Is there like any certain plugin that you like, that you prefer more than a specific pedal?
Right now, like the everything from unfiltered audio is like amazing. Like especially this plugin called Biome. It's like this modular delay type of plugin. I don't really know what it does. It's just crazy. Like it definitely sounds like a piece of pedal a little bit. Like you can get like some similar effects, for example, for this like thermal pedal that everybody's a fan of this like pitch shifting delay.
Yeah,
And you can do some like really similar with like this plugin especially.
yeah,
Then again, it's not really about it's how you use it, you know, and you can even make the crazy stuff with like stock plugins, you know, like some people are out there who are making stuff. I can name one. It's also probably a lot of producers are a fan of him. It's Johnny Wood.
oh
This
yeah,
guy is literally using like a lot of like stock plugins for his music, for his samples or his beats as well. And that also made me realize like, okay, you don't really need like stuff, you know. Sometimes you have like the most basic setup, let's say for like just a Focusrite interface and some KRKs monitors, which is like the standard producer setup, I feel like. And some people making the best music ever on that. So it
yeah.
doesn't matter if you have like the biggest speakers or like this or whatever, this compressor. You can literally, it's just what's in your head, like your creativity, and nothing can change, like no gear can change. It can enhance it, of course, but
Yeah,
not gonna make you a better producer if you just own like a bunch of gear. It's about like what you do with it and how you apply like those techniques.
it just out of curiosity, it's also like fun to bring us back to those times when we
Yeah.
just started making music. Like, what was like your first purchase? Like, what did you buy? Was it the speaker? Was it the audio interface?
Oh, that's a good idea. I think it was definitely like an audio interface. I had an M audio interface, like
Yeah.
it looked, because it looked like Apollo. And I was like, okay, like Apollo is too expensive, so I'm gonna get like this one. It was like $150 or something. So this was like my first repurchase, and then I got some like Swiss Sonic studio monitors. It's like this Torment brand
Okay.
from Torment, and just like some really like standard basic studio monitors. But that was like I think my first purchase. And then after some time, I think the biggest purchase I made like at first was like my MacBook probably, because I was always using like Windows laptops and also desktop PCs. But for some reason, like I was never lucky with it, and everything broke on me. Like for example, I had like this Windows laptop that I was using for 1 or 2 years, and then at some day, like the hard drive just broke. Like it was not turning. Like the computer was still working everything, but it was
Yeah.
not connected to the hard drive anymore. And I tried to fix it. They told me like it's not really possible, and I lost like beats. This was
Jeez.
2020, by the way. So I lost everything before 2020. Like I lost all my beats from 2017, 18, 19.
Damn.
Everything was gone. And I was like, fuck, bro, like this is really crazy. And I had to pay, like they were like, yo, you gotta pay like 400 euros or something. And
What the
there's not
fuck?
even, there's just a chance it get repaired, but it's not really like 100% gonna happen. And then at that point I was just like, okay, I'm gonna save up for a MacBook, because I just felt like it was more safe and it was working
Yeah.
like a little bit better. So I saved up for it, got my first MacBook, and then never really looked back. And since then, I upgraded like two more times. I got like this first MacBook, and I switched to like the M1 when it came out. For that, I had like a 2018 one, switched to the M1, and then recently switched to the M3 Pro. And now M3 Max I have right now.
I hear you, but I fucking hate Macs.
Yeah.
I had the bad lucks with fucking Macs because like plugins don't work. There's some issue with FL Studio, something or the other. That's why I'm like so natively stuck to my Windows, man.
To
It's
be
like
honest,
my,
for me, it was completely the
The
opposite.
opposite for you.
Always using Windows. I had only crashes since I switched to Mac. I had no crashes at all. Like everything is just working. Like I can really trust my computer and be like, okay, I can really do like crazy stuff, like open up Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, FL Studio, Media Encoder at the same time, run everything at the same time and still gonna work. Like I can make beats, make an artwork, make visuals all at the same time pretty much, which is so cool to me. And it was not really possible for me, at least on
Yeah,
Windows, but I feel like that's probably different for everybody. So I definitely
yeah. I
feel you
mean,
on
Windows
that.
is
Yep,
better.
sorry. I get it, bro. Like
Yeah, I mean, Apple versus Android, Mac versus Windows.
you also have an Android phone or you have an iPhone?
I actually have iPhone, but like I have the 15 Pro Max, but dude, I've been lately, like the Android phones have been killing it. I'm thinking of getting like the Samsung Flip 6
Oh
because
yeah, the shit look cool as fuck. Yeah.
fuck, bro, it looks so sick. And I mean, it's pretty new because the iPhone just keeps looking the same, no innovation. Like they're just doing innovation in like software, but like Android did
Actually, I
that
just
like.
got like the iPhone. I got the 16 Pro today, so it's crazy that you're saying that. There you go.
What was the
Uh,
last phone? Did you have like the 14 or something?
yeah,
Or
right now I have like the 14 Pro, but for some reason like the speakers broke a little bit and also the microphone, so I can't really go live on Instagram, for example, anymore because my mic quality is like so shit. It's just like making noise like the whole time,
yeah,
and so it's not really cool. So I was just like, okay, fuck it, I need like a new one. So I purchased like this one today. And I feel like also something, if you own like a MacBook, what's really cool is like the connectivity that you have
yeah,
if you own like more than one Apple product, because you can literally like, you have like a beat, you can airdrop it to yourself. You have visuals, you can, use airdrop in so many cool ways. And I feel like just like that everything like works together so well is like something that I really appreciate about Apple. But I feel like also if I wouldn't have like a MacBook and I would use like a Windows laptop, for example, or like a desktop PC, that that I would also maybe think about like getting like the other phone. But right now I just feel like because it connects everything together, it
yeah,
just
yeah.
there's no option for me to get like nothing
I
else than
mean,
that.
for Windows, you can like for the people watching this and who have Windows laptop, I love you. You're the best. But also, you can instead of using AirDrop, like because I mean, Android and Windows don't have AirDrop, you can use Snapdragon. So
Oh,
that's
I heard
one
of
good
this.
sauce.
It's great tool.
Yeah, great tool. Okay, let's dive deep into like how did you cultivate like the cryptic sound? Like when did you realize this is the sound you want to chase?
Um, so it also all started like when I did like my YouTube channel back then, in like or like end of 2017. I think I started with it really, or like around 2017. And back then I was so inspired by Wonder, by Bijan
Yeah.
Amir, by Eastbound, like those three guys, or two guys and Wonder. They were like my main inspiration. And I was just like so inspired, like why does it sound like this? Like why does
Mhm.
it like why is it so like knocking but not loud at the same time? Why I wanted to figure out like how I can get that type of sound. So I always try to like kind of emulate that at first, and I always try to do like Wonder type beats, Eastbound type beats, Travis Scott type beats, and I was heavily inspired by like those 808 slides, for example. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do. I was like going crazy on those slides and everything. And I feel like I was always more interested on the more experimental side than of like just doing like normal beats that are like more made for an artist. So because I was always inspired by Wonder, I feel like her beats are always more than just like a beat. It makes you
Right.
feel like so much emotion. Like there's so many like details in there, so many switch ups, and there's so many different sections. So I was kind of inspired by that always. I feel like that kind of led me into like, just making like the beats for my personal taste. And to be honest, I didn't really thought too much about like how can I be different or something. I was just making my own stuff, and at some point people started to like it, and then I always kept on doing this. I'm always just doing me basically.
Yeah.
I always have like influence of other people, of course, but
Mhm.
uh, I'm always a fan of trying to figure out stuff on my own instead of just following like a straight like guideline or anything. If I'm watching a tutorial, for example, I'm not trying to copy that tutorial like one by one. I'm trying to take out like, okay, this is kind of cool. I
You like
like this.
this aspect and you want to
Yeah, piece
replicate
it
that.
together from like
Mhm.
everybody. And that's how I feel like how you build your own sound. It's like taking inspiration from like 100 different things. Can be
Right.
anything, literally like anything. It can be like even food, for example. Like you take the inspiration from like you make some great tacos. By the way,
Yeah.
some really good tacos. I'm not doing that, but you make take inspiration from that. You can do that. You can like there's so many cool things that went into that. Like I have so many. Oh, I try to have so many like different interests. Like also like for me a big inspiration is like cinema or movies in general,
Yeah.
TV shows, everything. I'm such a big fan. Like I'm literally watching movies every day. Always late at night when I'm done with like my stuff at day, I'm always feels like a ritual really because I'm always watching like movies and I'm so like inspired by like those how it goes like together from like the sound to the visuals to like the sound design to and I don't know like this.
Yeah, because like even when you're dropping all your sample packs, like you do like a preview sound of your sample
Yeah,
packs,
yeah.
it's so crazy. You're like, what the fuck am I watching a movie?
That's
Like
what
it's
I'm
like an
trying to do.
intro.
Yeah, I was always inspired by movies. I feel like that's also something I want to do more in the next couple of years. I feel like that's also the start of this new journey where I'm releasing my own music. Is kind of like I'm just basically doing the same thing as before when I did drum kits, but now it's like for the music. It's not to promote a drum kit anymore. It's more about creating that experience, but actually just putting out the music and then just let people listen to that. So yeah, what was the question again? I was like
Oh,
kind of
I mean,
diving away.
it's all good. We're gonna get to where you're trying to go, but I also wanna say like imitation is like the best form of flattery. I mean, when we all start producing, like
Yeah,
before, like when in our initial days, we would copy a lot of people.
yeah.
And on that topic, I want to go to the segment called Imitation Prep. Let me
Yeah.
share my screen. This is gonna be exciting. so, so there's someone called BYPXR, and this
Oh,
is
I
the
know. Yeah,
only
he's a great guy, bro.
fucking yeah amazing beats he makes. Yeah, and he tried to replicate how you make beats, and like
That's
this was
great.
mind you 3 years ago. So you're gonna listen to how someone tries to emulate you, and you're gonna rate how it sounds. Okay?
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, let's go. That's also like something that is really like that's so fucking crazy to me. To see, that's where inspiration can take you. Like, people are trying to make or like you said, like try to imitate something that I'm doing. It's such a crazy feeling to me. It's also a little bit weird to be honest, because just seeing that and how to make a cryptic beat just it feels like weird, but not in a bad way. It's just like I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like I'm fucking honored to be honest, to see something like this even. But yeah, let's dive into it. I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
let's dive into it. I'll definitely get into that too.
This is Imitation Crab.
All right.
Yeah, here we go.
Perfect.
Ooh. Okay.
I think we can play the final part just to see how it
Yeah, yeah,
sounds.
yeah. Just play the final part. Shit's it's dark. Yo.
Chain was
What the fuck?
Yeah, what would you rate this? Someone who's
I
trying to
mean,
do a
it's really
tutorial of how
hard,
to make your beats.
I mean, it's really cool. It's like I feel like it's a little bit too busy. Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit at the end. I feel like there's too much going on. But it's also like a couple years old, so I totally get it. I was also like making the type beats I did on YouTube
Yeah.
was like so complicated and so many things turn on. He definitely nailed it, bro. Like all these like little zap, like the laser sounds, the like little down pitch snares and everything.
Yeah.
He definitely nailed it, man. He did like craziest job on it, to be honest. I would rate it like if I 1 to 10, I would say like 9 out of 10, bro. To be honest, really nice. Really good.
Damn. Yeah, no, I think he like tried to like impersonate like your perkings and your kicking.
Yeah, and also like the different bounce that you don't put the kick on the one, for example, but put it like a little bit after. But that's also where I need to give credit to Wanaga, because she like introduced that kind of for me as well. I was always trying, it's like normal to put the kick on the one. It's like just standard. Everybody does it for some reason.
Yeah.
But she actually showed me like, okay, you don't gotta do that. You can just put your kick in really weird places and just get like those like completely different bounces out of that just by moving one thing around, which is so cool. So yeah, man, that's crazy that you even showed that to me more in like a fucking cryptic type beat. That's insane, man.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah. When I
insane.
saw that, I was like, I gotta put this on, man. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think people who are going to impersonate you are gonna have such a hard time, but in trying to recreate it, will learn so much, and even half of the time doubt themselves and wanna kill themselves or quit music. But hey, just a quick note. I have created a go-to sample pack called Celestial Volume 1 that is meant for speeding up your workflow with sounds that you can be completely confident with. And it has over 110 sounds with a comprehensive manual. The best part is, it's free to download and it's royalty free as well. What's cool is that you can add this along with your vocal sessions to spice up your sessions, as well as give a wholesome sci-fi vibe to your productions. Just drag and drop, and that's literally it. A lot of producers already love this pack, and I'm sure you will love it too. The link is in the description, my G. Yeah,
Yo.
speaking of which, like, when have you had those moments of doubts, and like how have you pushed through them?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every creative has like those moments, and everybody who's saying they don't have it, they pretty much lying, in my opinion. So I feel like I'm having that like every other week, to be honest. Like I also had like a couple of days ago, I had like some days where I was like, ah man, I don't know what I should do. Like sometimes you're just doubting yourself. You're like, is it right? Should I really do like this artist stuff right now? Is it like too much of a transition? Is it like, I don't know if it's like the right thing, but then at the same time, like, I feel like what's most important, like you gotta trust yourself with your own decisions that you do, and just, whatever decision you make, like stick to it. I feel like that's super important. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely having like those days, sometimes even weeks where I'm not doing shit, where I'm just like, fuck, I getting any further and I don't really know what to do. But then at the same time, there's always, like talking to friends really helps me getting back up, or just, sometimes you just gotta make like a dope ass beat. Sometimes you don't do shit for like a couple of days, and then you sit down, you make like this one crazy ass beat, and then you're like, okay, I'm the best producer ever. Yeah, I feel like it's just everybody is dealing with that. I feel like just to it's normal to, like, it's good to just understand that this is normal, and that everybody has experienced it. It's just like a matter of how you deal with it, how you deal with like those bad days. If you're like, fuck, I'm having such a bad day, my whole week is gonna be bad. Or if you're like, fuck, I'm having such a bad day, but tomorrow's a new day, and tomorrow everything's gonna be different. So it's a matter of mindset, really, and how you see like things. Like always try to be like positive, even if everything goes down. Like there's always like one like positive thing that you can focus on. And I feel like that's something I'm also like dealing with, and that I'm still learning, of course. I mean, I'm also like just 25 years old, turning 26 this year, so I got like so many years in front of me. I'm still learning, like, but yeah, I just feel like it's important to just, stay positive no matter what, and just, never let anything or anybody kill your creativity and your imagination. Everything is fucking possible. You just gotta believe in it. No matter, the only mistake you can really do is like giving up. That's the only mistake you can do.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like learning, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
so like that's pretty cool that you said that. I mean, like, definitely. I mean, everyone has those days when you don't know, you're in a very unfamiliar zone, like
Yeah.
you're doing and you don't know where to take it. But I think it's like that's when you have to like bring yourself out of what you're doing and just like rebuild from there. Just try
Yeah.
something new. Just don't think about it really. Just
Yeah,
always
don't think much
good.
about it. At the same time, like just realize like we all humans on this earth, and our real purpose is like living. It's not like
Mhm.
making like a shit ton of money, or getting like any materialistic, like whatever it might be. It's about like living and enjoying life. And
Absolutely.
if you just think about that and just maybe even write it down and put it somewhere where you can see it instantly when you wake up, and just like realizing that every day, like just enjoy every day that you have on this earth. Like you never know what's going to happen next. Our time on here is like limited, so I feel like we should make a use of like every day that we get on here. So there's no time for really like being.
Yeah.
Sometimes, of course, it's always harder to do than to say it, but some days you always have like those days where like just laying in bed doing nothing, but like just gotta realize, okay, like our time is limited. Like try to use every day. Every day is a new opportunity to do better. So I
Absolutely.
use that.
So
Yeah.
what? So then, what is like? You're a full-time music producer. So what is
Yeah.
like a day in a life for you?
Um,
Like a
it's
typical one.
it's pretty different, to be honest. Every
Uh-huh.
time, like on some days, like right now, I have like a really fucked up schedule. To be honest, like
Like,
I'm doing music or creating till like pretty early in the morning, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. or something. Then going to bed, waking up at like noon or something. So it's like a
hmm.
little bit switch right now. But to be honest, I have like a couple goals I want to do every day, which is one is to create one piece every day. It can be a sample, it can be drums, it can be a full beat, it can be whatever. But I want to make something that moves me in some kind of way every day. It's kind of like my vision. It can also be like right now, it kind of shifted to like a couple other mediums. Sometimes I'm just doing like a video, or like working
Right.
on this new reel, or just doing like sound design on a video or whatever. It can be an artwork even. So that's really like my main goal that I want to reach every day. And the second main goal is to inspire one other person. That's
Mhm.
also something to do. It can be literally like small things, like just chatting with somebody on Instagram, for example, or just doing like a production class, like I did with you or something, so
Yeah.
and showcase my stuff. But I don't really have too much of a real like schedule where I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. Like it's kind of slightly different every day. I'm usually waking up like right now, like at noon, then taking a shower, then just start working. I'm always a fan of first eating something when I have something done. I'm not the biggest fan of doing breakfast and all that, so I'm always
Yeah. Same.
waking up, getting ready, get some stuff done, and then reward myself with some food. And then yeah, it's usually like pretty much freestyle. I'm just waking up and then I'm like, okay, what I got to do today, and then
Hmm.
I'm just trying to work on those points. But yeah, sometimes on some days I'm like, I want to do like so many things at once, and then I realize, okay, I'm not
I'm
really an
human
ex-
at the end of the
I'm just a
day.
human being, and I can't
Yeah.
really do too many things at once. But I'm always just trying. At the end of the day, I always want to be just proud of myself and proud of what I did on that day. Even on some days, I also like I said, there's some days where I'm not really productive, where I'm not feeling like creatively, and then on some days I'm just trying to do something else. I'm still trying to be productive, but not
Hmm.
creatively. I'm still trying, do some tech stuff or something that you gotta do in Germany, or do some like organizing my sounds, my drum kits, for example, or my storage on my computer or something like this can also help. And also one thing I'm trying to do, because I feel like as music producers, especially for me, I'm being at home like quite often,
Hmm.
um, almost like every day. So I'm always trying to, get out and do something at least once a day. It can be like literally like just walking around outside and just,
Yeah.
sometimes with music, sometimes I'm leaving my headphones here and just, walking around with no music in my ears, just like, experiencing like nature or whatever. But
Hmm.
I feel like it's important to have like this balance where you don't sit like in front of your computer all day, every day. Some points you have like those phases where you like do that for a couple of months, but then it's also important to, go out, meet some friends, go outside, like having a normal life and not having music as like your full life is really important for me to keep like that balance, because otherwise you're gonna overwork yourself, you're gonna
Yeah.
burn out, and it's not gonna be fun. So always make sure you have like some kind of other stuff that you can do. For me, it's like, it sounds like simple, but just walking outside, for example, FaceTiming with friends or meeting friends, of course,
Yeah.
um, watching movies. I also got a little bit into like Pokemon lately, like Pokemon cards. Getting back into like the childhood stuff. You just gotta have like a couple of different interests to stay inspired. Because if you're just doing music like all day, like at some point you don't have inspiration for it anymore,
Right.
because inspiration comes from like life. It doesn't come from like staring at the screen and trying to come up with like the best beat ever. It comes from like going outside and experiencing something, living life, and then you can make like some greatest music.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
mean, you're from Magdeburg, Germany, right?
yes, yes.
Am I saying it right? Magdeburg?
It's called, I don't know how you say it in English, but in German it's called Magdeburg. It's like just,
Magdeburg.
yes.
Okay.
Um,
And like, do you have like friends in Magdeburg that are like a favorite place you go to usually?
not too much. There's like a really nice, like a park right here where
Hmm.
it's not really far away from where I live, where I usually like to just walk around. It's really nice, a lot of like green, a lot of trees, a lot of like nature. So I love that. And it's also like pretty quiet during the day. Weekends, not on weekends, there's like a lot of people going drinking out there, but on work days or weekdays, it's like it's pretty cool out there. But otherwise, to be honest, I back when I went to school here, I had like a lot of friends and everything, but it kind of shifted a little bit because my interest is like different from most of these other people right here.
Right.
And I feel like I got like a new circle more in this like producer community. So I'm like
Uh-huh.
my friend circle is more like it's a little bit online, but also like more like shifted to Berlin a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah, Berlin's the spot, man.
yeah, Berlin is the spot. There's so cool there, man. It's also like
The
I mean,
studios also look so crazy
right.
too.
That's
It's
why I'm trying to say like right here in my city, like there is no studio. There's not really people. I mean, there's people making music, but like completely other genres. And I always felt like I was not really fitting into that. So I
Mhm.
always try to search for like my new circle outside of my hometown. And I feel like that was a good decision. But yeah, right now in Magdeburg, I don't really like to go out to the city too much. Like just if I
Right.
need something like and need some groceries or whatever, I'm of course, but otherwise, I don't really have too much friends here, to be honest. Like it's more like Berlin and online, I feel like kind
Yeah,
of.
I mean, that's so crazy. I mean, definitely you already stated that like you're pretty introverted, but being an introvert and being in like your studio like 24/7, is there any advice you would give for people who are also introverted? Because a lot of us are introverted.
Yeah.
Uh, do you
I feel
like
like
anything to build relationships with?
what really helped me is just like being present online and just talking to people. I feel
Hmm.
like also I'm FaceTiming so much because I'm living here and all my friends are living like a little bit far away. I'm FaceTiming a lot of times, which helps me to also be like socially active, but also to just talk to people. And sometimes there's days where sometimes you just gotta talk to someone if something is going on in your life. I feel like that helps me a lot, even if it's not like in person, but it still feels like a little bit like that. And yeah, to be honest, I'm not really thinking. I kind of enjoy being alone and being introverted because I kind of learned to just love myself and just to live with myself as well. And I feel like that's something that's really important as an introverted person to learn that, so you can just spend time with yourself and not feel like it's missing something. Um,
Yeah,
so that's what.
learning to love to live with yourself
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
that's sauce right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Like we spend a lot of time in our life we're gonna spend alone. Like, of
Yeah,
course, at some point we're gonna start a family, but yeah, we also gotta make sure like you gotta be in a relationship with yourself first,
yeah,
and you gotta love yourself also first before you can love anybody else. I feel like it's so important to learn that. And I feel like I kind of got into that without really thinking too much about it because I was just making music and I tried to make this dream come true. So I spent
mhm,
a lot of time just working on that. And a lot of friends back then didn't really understood that. And they were like, yo, you don't got time for us anymore and everything. I was like, yeah, but I'm working on this dream. I'm trying to make it true. And I know I got I gotta put like so much into that. And then I just decided to, I can maintain like all these friendships from back then, or I can work on my dream. And I decided for my dream because I feel like that's bigger than any friendship or bigger than myself even. So yeah.
That's very interesting. I mean, like you also sell a shit ton of sample packs, and every month is like so theme based, and every pack is so fucking different from each other. Has selling sample packs, have they like gotten you like build relationships with people internationally,
Yeah.
got you into places that you didn't even think? How do you want to talk about like the experience of how selling sample packs changed some certain aspects of you, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. So it started also in 2018. Back then, I was working with a producer. His name is, I think now he goes by Roku Prod.
Mhm.
And he was like a really good friend back then. I was kind of making music with. And it was pretty funny because the first drum kit I ever did, it was not really because I wanted to, make a crazy experience. We wanted to go to Paris and we needed some money. So we were
Yeah.
like, okay, we're going to do a drum kit, put it online. Hopefully we can like afford our trip. And then eventually it happened. And we were able to, generate some money to go to Paris for like a couple of days or something. I don't even know why we went there. I think just to see Paris for the first time. And back then I was also skating, like skateboarding. So I think we went for that. But yeah, that's how I like did my like kind of first drum kit.
Yeah.
It was called artificial intelligence back then. It was like 2017, 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I can still remember the artwork and everything was so cool. But then after that, there was like kind of like the start of that. And then I realized, okay, it's pretty fun. Like those first couple kids, like if I listen to them now, I'm like, oh fuck, bro, this shit's so fucked up. But then I was just having fun with it, really.
Right.
Also, these packs were like super small back then. Like nowadays, putting like 10,000 sounds in a kit. Back then, I put
Yeah.
like 60 sounds in one drum kit and still sold it for like $20 or something. It was a different time. But yeah, then after that, I just started to just do it again and again. After that, I did like my first drum kit series. So I kind of wanted to always do like a trilogy back then of like 3 different drum kits, that kind of like volume 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
And the first one was called think Cryptogenic. Like I always try to come up with some cool names. So like first
Yeah.
Cryptogenic, then I can't remember the second one, but the last one was called Kryptonium. So I was always like something with cryptic and
You
then a
know
drum.
what? That was my first sample pack that I got of yours,
Really?
Kryptonium. Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. That shit was so, yeah, yeah.
That
But it was
that
like,
was your first one for sure.
yeah, these were like really like the first ones. And then after that, people just messaged me and were like, yo, those sounds are super cool. Like, you gonna do more? You gonna do that? And then I just realized, okay, maybe there's a business in that. And it's also something I can do where I can express myself without really doing something that I don't really like
Mhm.
necessarily. I can still be me, but still, make a living from that. And then, I just started making drum kit. I don't even know which was after that. I think after that I did like the Sounds from Another Dimension series, which
Yeah.
was
Oh.
my branding back then. I did like everything. Always like cryptic beats are gonna sound like sounds from another dimension. This was like my whole like selling point or my whole like marketing, branding, whatever.
Oh my God. Dude,
So I named
sounds
like the,
from dude that whole series. Oh my God, dude. Those sample libraries were fucking crazy. Like it was actually insane. I was like, this is a fucking sample, bro.
yeah, these were just like, this is how I like did like the first couple drum kits. And then after that, I just kept on doing it and I tried to scale it bigger and bigger and try to make it like cooler with everything. I learned like so many new things. I had like I said, like a bunch of gear back then, which I had to
Yeah.
use to like experiment and just come up with like some cool stuff. So yeah, I just kept on doing this. And after a while, I just realized, okay, I can do more with that. I can not only put out like a drum kit and sell like a product, I can also create like this experience with it. Like I can really spend some time working on artworks, which I already had some
Yeah.
experience from, like, you're doing like YouTube, like those small videos or like even doing like thumbnails for YouTube. So I kind of had like a little bit of experience with like Photoshop and like Premiere Pro and a little bit of After Effects. So I just got into that, and then, just kept on doing this and kept on like firing one kit after another.
Yeah, you know what's the
Yeah,
difference? When other people are selling sample packs, I see the comments. It's like fire emoji, fire emoji. When you drop something, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? This is crazy. How do you get the bounce? There are like so many questions.
yeah, that's like I said, like I'm always trying to also like, of course, not to impress others, but to
Yeah,
impress myself. I'm always trying
yeah,
to myself with everything that I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, I really came up with, I really made this beat. I really made like this artwork. I'm trying to just, make the stuff that I want to see in the world. If I would love to see back then, I would love to see like those drum kits, but they didn't really existed back then. There was not too many drum kits. There were like a couple, but it was not as big as it is right now. Right now, it's like booming, like everybody's doing drum kits. But back then, it was not really the case. So I was like, okay, there is not really like drum kit that I want to buy. It's not available. So I
yeah.
got it myself. And yeah, then I just got into that. Then I also did some other stuff, like started with only drum kits, but then I was like, okay, maybe I should do like a sample pack. So that's also a cool story. First sample pack I did was not the first one. I did like one which was called Utopia Dystopia
Yeah,
before it was dropped or even announced this, like,
the Android like looking thing, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And this was like the first sample library. But then the first one, which really did some more for me, was like the first one I did with Wizard. Shout out to him. His name is Wizard Got Beats on socials. Such a great soul, great musician. He's a genius. He's really a genius. I don't even know what I'm out of words. Like, oh, this guy is just so cool. And I messaged him on Instagram. I found him actually. It was pretty funny because I found him through this other producer named Prod Rowan, who's
Okay.
like an American producer, and
Mm-hmm.
he posted like snippets back then in 2018 when nobody did it, like with little visuals and his beats, and then he posted like every day or every second day,
Yeah.
and posted like those craziest beats, and I was like, damn, what are those melodies? And then I saw he tagged Wizard on every of those posts. I was like, okay, who is this guy? And texted him. I was like, yo, what's up? Let's work on and something like this. And then we realized, okay, he's also German, and he
Yeah.
literally is like 1 hour away from me. So I was like, fuck, bro, we should do a session. Let's do it. And then he came actually to Magdeburg, and we did like a little session at my place. And that's where we did like our first sample diary together, which was called, actually, we did like the second one together. The first one, we did it online together. And then the second one, we did it in person and was called Solitude,
Yeah.
which kind of means like, being like away from everything else.
Oh
And
yeah, so true. I
because we
remember.
sitting here making music, making like those samples within like 3 days, I think. We made like all these like crazier samples, did like all these like synths and everything. This was actually like the first session with him. And then another thing which happened, which is a little bit off topic, but and one day after Wizard left me, um, I met with this artist called Chenzo. He goes now by Chancito, and we did
Mhm.
our first session together and made like our first song, which is called Feelings, which is still like the biggest song we did together. It has like a couple, like 100,000 streams, I think, and we did it in the same week as I did the session with Wizard. So this week was like really magical, and I still love remembering that feeling when I was literally sitting here where I'm sitting right now. He was standing here recording the vocals, and I just looked at him and I was like, damn, bro, we really making something crazy right now. So yeah, I just want to share that a little note with you. But
Yeah, I mean that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
how I
such a.
got into like this sample drum kit game, and then yeah, just developed it more and more, and kind of tried to come up with like cooler concepts.
Mhm.
Um, like last year, I think it really started like by not only doing like a drum kit and then finding a name for it. I actually flipped it around and starting with name first, and then or like concept first, and then building the sounds around it. For example, for the Organica drum kit that I did, I only had the name in mind. I had like a notes app, and I typed in like Organica at some day because I was like,
Mhm.
damn it, who has what? And then I was like, okay, I should do like the drum kit out of that. Okay, what does Organica mean for me? It's like organic sounds. It's like
Mhm.
warm sounds, like sounds made from like Foley's from like field recordings. And then I just tried to collect like sounds that are like kind of fitted into that theme.
Yeah.
And that just came up with like everything just came together like pretty naturally, like organically, you can also say.
Yeah. Have you dabbled with AI yet?
With what?
AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, a little bit. I tried it out. but I'm just trying to, how can I say that? I'm not trying to let I do the work I'm not trying to, fuck.
You got this.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I just gotta figure. I'm not trying to work for AI. I'm trying to make AI work for me if I'm using it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. I'm more the fan just to do it by myself. But sometimes I'm using it, for example, if I have like a really nice description for like a drum kit or something, I'm using like ChatGPT to test it like for grammar mistakes, for example. Like that's how I use it usually. But I feel like if you use it for getting ideas or concepts, I feel like that's not something I want to do. I mean, no shade to anybody who's using it, but for me personally, if I want to do like a concept or come up with an idea, I want to have that idea come from me and only from me, and not any like computer like intelligence or whatever. It should come from like a human person. Sometimes it's great to, if you already have something and you're like, how can I do that? How can I post it effectively or something like that? Then it's good to use AI or use ChatGPT or whatever you're using there. But I feel like just for coming up with ideas, which is how a lot of people use AI, I feel like that's something how it should not be used, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, we're still in the early stages of AI, so like the line is kind of blurred.
I watched too many movies about that shit, and I'm fucking scared. If I'm using like ChatGPT, it's like I'm scared that it's like kind of because I'm asking like so many questions. Sometimes don't need questions, and I'm not ready to answer that.
Oh, have you tried ChatGPT voice mode? That shit is so creepy, bro. It's like you're talking.
Talks back to you?
Yeah.
Well, nah, I'm not doing that. No. No,
I do it all the time. It's fucking crazy. It's scary as fuck, though.
I'm really scared of AI. I feel like it's so like inhuman. Of course, it's like artificial, but I don't know. I'm a little bit like not feared, but I feel like it's going to take a little bit away from the art of human beings. Like I hope not that's going to happen, but I feel like it's already happening a little bit, and I don't know. For me, it just feels weird. Like art should come from your heart and not from fucking.
If you are scared of AI, you will be scared of this segment that we're gonna do right now.
Show me like AI that does like cryptic types. No, I'm gonna quit this core, bro. I'm not gonna.
Well, let me just share my screen now. I think we should be good. I did not tell it to emulate a cryptic type beat, but what I did do is I stole one of your beats from YouTube. Call me a rapper, but I took one of your beats from YouTube, like one of like those the type beats that you have.
Oh yeah.
So it took, I think, 60 seconds of your song, and it added like its own beat extension. So it extended 60 seconds of your beat, and used like a artist over it too. So let's see. This is the original
one
beat.
because I remember the Taboo one that I uploaded. Maybe play that one. Oh my god.
Fuck, man. We get the idea. This is your beat, fucking fire beat. And now let's see what AI's got.
I'm trapping Atlanta. If I've been trapping, I'm money or phantom. I'm out in Atlanta. 90 degrees in the dark cabana. When I'm not in Atlanta, they know it's me cause my trappers on camera. When they come to Atlanta, they want it all, boys and girls. This is better than Santa. She thinks she told me leave. She fell in love with a scammer. They love you when your face on the banner. They take you for granted. Yeah. Might have thought it was bad. My brother, he burnt out. He said it was worth it. Ran off in the church on these J's and they worship his whole operation. It's filthy, it's dirty. Some point you gotta say have mercy. At some point I'm thinking Gonzo. I take out the O and replace it with Hershey. Someone's baby mama ain't closing the curtains. She know that she did. So there's no way I'm hurt.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Yo, I don't know, man. It's definitely, it sounds good. Like I can't say anything bad about the song, but it's just like, where does the lyrics come from? Like I don't understand like where it's coming from and what's behind it, you know? Like it's weird to me that's, but yeah, it definitely sounds like, just from a sound perspective, it definitely sounds good. Like it's really on point. Um, but yeah, I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
it's weird.
I gave it your beat and then I told it to like reference something
Oh yeah,
similar to the Cactus Jack label. So it
yeah.
tried to do something like that. Like there are some versions where it actually did like "Is it?" and all those ad libs, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You
How?
have another one
Oh
that's like
yeah,
this?
yeah. I mean, I have another one. So this is your beat Aqua Gamma. So
Oh
this
yeah.
is how it originally sounds. Fucking fire song. What the fuck? Oh my god, bro.
Shout out to Shep Brenda for the
Oh
sample.
shit. Oh. Okay, so this is what it did. It's German, by the way.
Bin on the road seit so langer Zeit. Bin on the road und bin allein. Ich bin auf Drogen, auf Clear und High. Du weißt, I need you by my side. Stopp, zugegeben, ja. Ich hab das Bild von deiner Figur vor Augen. Wahrscheinlich seid ihr beide gerade wieder bei deinen Eltern, aber zurück zu uns. Komm, du bist mein Baby, die eine und die andere, du machst mich crazy. Komm, hol mich raus, Baby,
Oh my god.
ich brauch dich und ich will dich. Bin on the road.
Dude, it even edited
are
your
the
beats.
worst. These are the worst lyrics I ever heard on a.
For sure. No doubt
Wait,
about that.
you will understand whatever thing is saying,
Yeah.
bro. Oh my fucking god, that's crazy. That's bleh. That's
But I don't even know how it detected like the key and then it like tried
yeah,
to
like melodies, everything is like the actual top lines are like really
yeah.
on point. Like, it fits really well also to like the chord change that the beat does. It's really crazy. Like I don't know what to think about it. Like it's just I also didn't even knew like this was possible, to be honest. I'm completely shocked right now. It just
Yeah,
did like
like
a fucking, like this could be like, not don't not be wrong, like this. The lyrics are like, so it's the most generic lyrics you could ever get.
yeah.
So like this shit could be like something big here. Actually, it does sound like a record that you hear like on like a bigger playlist or bigger radio or whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it's still fairly new, and especially with the music industry, like it's still building up. So, like, already, I mean, it just sounds like a proper song. Lyrics department, obviously, it's gonna reference more of the
yeah,
like the latest artists. But yeah, I mean, there's so much AI can do. It's kind of fucking crazy. It's scary as fuck.
yeah.
Like,
It's
even
insane.
seeing your expression, you were like, "What the fuck is going on right now?"
Yeah, it's like, damn, damn. That's really like, I think you can use it in some ways to do like top lines if you're like not the
Yeah.
best vocalist, for example, and you just want to get like a nice reference top line. I mean, you can just do that and like chop it up. I don't know if you can download the vocals after that, but that would be like
Uh-huh.
pretty nice creatively to experience that. But um, it's still weird because I feel like it's, where does it take like all this stuff from, where, like also on these other tracks, like why does it say like certain words, for example? Like it's really weird like that it's coming like from a computer.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I don't really know what to think about it, but it's definitely exciting. Like I can't wait to see where it goes like over the next couple of years. it's scary, but at the same time, it's also exciting to see where it goes.
Yeah, imagine getting placements with AI beats.
Imagine getting a placement with an AI artist, bro. You're not gonna do like
Oh,
the like Drake and whatever. Like you're gonna
yeah.
beat with an AI artist and you don't get paid shit, bro. Hell yeah, that's what's gonna be.
I think there's already like I think there are some AI artists that are starting to pop off, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's on Instagram. It's going crazy right now. There's not on music, but on the influencer side.
Yeah.
There's literally like AI profiles which look like certain influencers because they probably sought the rights to their
Mm-hmm.
like online identity or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fucking scary. I was just like looking on Reels and I just saw like fucking Kendall Jenner on there. And I was like, this is like a new profile. They just used like her face or something and did like a new like profile with it. It's so weird. Like that's something that where I'm like, why should you do that? Like, why should you be AI your own part? Why can we just use it for to do like our stuff better? Why should we create like a fake profile which is run by
Mm-hmm.
AI? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it should be social media should also be about I mean, it's called social media. It's not called
Yeah.
anti-social media, you know? So I feel like it's not really the purpose of that. It's like getting used in ways how it shouldn't be used, in my opinion. But let's see
Yeah.
where it goes. Like, I mean, nobody knows really. So let's see where it goes over the next couple of years. It's definitely going to be exciting, that's for sure.
I'm excited and scared too.
Yeah.
It's just like 50-50. But
I just
yeah,
don't want to do like this iRobot shit, you know, where it's going crazy. I don't want to do that, you know.
for the Tesla robots and stuff.
Now, bro, don't even start on that, bro. Like,
It's happening. It's happening.
I'm gonna lock myself in my studio and just gonna do music all day. Not gonna, no words outside anymore, bro. Nothing. Just FL studio all day, 24/7.
Do you want to talk about placements?
Yeah,
Say,
sure. Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, then okay, let's get into it. Like, what was like your first placement you got, and how hard was it to get like a placement even?
So the first bigger placements came from like those YouTube type beats, because people purchased like these from it. There was this first song called I forgot it, bro. I still know this artist name, but I forgot the track name. Okay. So this first song I kind of knew about. It came from this one YouTube beat called Zone. Was like the
Mhm.
first beat that kind of blew up a little, like not really blew up, but it got like a couple thousand views. And there was this artist called 27 Club who did like a song on it called Drunken Love. And this was like the first song where I was like, okay, this actually sounds like crazy, and it got like a good amount of streams back then. So
Right.
this was like the first couple placements all came through like just YouTube, from uploading to YouTube and people purchasing like leases to that. There's another one called Hoop by Oki, who's like a
Mhm.
Polish artist, and this song is actually like really big right now. It got like 20 million streams
Mhm.
or something like this. I don't know the exact number, so maybe if it's less, I don't know, but it's like a decent amount of streams already, which also came just from a YouTube type beat back then, like a One Nigger Eastbound type beat, which
Yeah.
is really cool to see. But then yeah, after a while, I just wanted to work with artists directly, because like I said, at some point I felt like those YouTube type beats was really like just selling a product, and that didn't really felt right
Feel.
to me.
Mhm.
So at some point I just started to reach out to artists, and then just try to work with them. We did like a bunch of songs back then. So yeah, I think the biggest placement I got so far is like two German songs, both with an artist called Paula Hartmann,
Yeah.
who is really talented. I love her stuff. She also dropped the craziest album last year or
Mhm.
2 years ago. I'm not too sure, but last album she dropped is really amazing. And I worked on two tracks with her through this other producer called Bistram, who
Mhm.
I sent samples to, and he believed in me and was like, "Yo, your sound is really cool. Gonna use this. Gonna use this." So we actually got like one cut on a single release by another artist named Haftbefehl in German, who's
Okay.
like one of the most influential artists here in Germany, actually.
Mhm.
Um, and he did like a feature song with Paula, and that's how I got my first like bigger German placement, I would say. And then there's another song on her album that she dropped. Like I was on the deluxe with another artist feature called Simba. So this is on the German side, really nice. I'm really honored to be a part of those records. Really mean a lot to me. But
Yeah, like
otherwise,
the music coming out of Germany is also fucking hard too. Like Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so much really cool stuff happening right here, um, which is really amazing. I'm just always, if I can be a part of that, it's pretty cool. There's also another song called Sehnsucht by
Mhm,
Tilo, which is also like pretty big, like 100 million streams. And
mhm,
I didn't really produce on it, but they used like a drum loop from the Sounds from Another Dimension kit that we
mhm.
talked earlier on.
Yeah.
He used like a drum loop from that kit for the second part of the song, which has like a trap switch up. It's more like 80s bounce first, and then it
Mhm.
switched trap rhythm, and they just used like this drum loop of me, which is really nice. They also added my credit to YouTube later on because I didn't really realize that it
Yeah.
just came out and some people were asking you, was like, yo, this is your drums. I was like,
Mhm.
damn, really my drums. And then I messaged them and then we figured it out and everything. But yeah, that's also something that is really cool, like to get placement with through like drum loops, That's also
Mhm.
some people don't realize that most people think like it can only be like make samples and
It'll-
send out samples melodies. But it's the same, like everybody's looking for drums, especially those people who only make samples who don't make drums. I mean, you know. So I'm always a fan of just like sending out packs with like drums as well.
Mhm.
Like I'm doing this for like last 1 or 2 years now, I think. So yeah, let me just look up the playlist if there's any other like bigger songs right now. I mean, there's also like so many songs that I wouldn't call like a big placement. I mean, it is placements, but I feel like sometimes placements is only called placements because if it's major. But I feel
Mhm.
like every song I'm making is like a placement, really. Like if it's like artists on there. There's a couple other ones I worked on by DC The Dawn and Black. We
Yeah.
did this one song called Out of My Body.
Mhm.
Shout out to Steven Schaefer. He put it together. He used like a sample from me and Wizard and did like the drums, sent it to DC, I think. He did the song, and then we got Black as a feature on it, which was also like a big moment for me because I've been listening to this guy since he dropped like Problems back then, and getting a song and hearing him on a melody that I made with Wizard is something that's really making me proud.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that, and then yeah, there's a couple other things like I worked with 451 a lot of
Mhm.
times. He's like a really fine artist from the UK. I don't know if he still lived there, but he was definitely living there back then. And we did also like a bunch of really nice songs together, like Fighter Jet,
Mhm.
by Design, like just to name a few, really nice. And yeah, I also worked on I'm trying to do like some more Europe stuff because I felt like for the US stuff, you kind of got to be a little bit lucky to get in
Mhm.
those field, especially if you like from Germany like me and you. I mean, I was in LA like 2 or 3 years ago, but I never really got the chance again to get back. So I feel like it's almost impossible for us producers right here to get those placements if you do beats or if you do more drums. If you do samples, it might be different because you can send to
Yeah.
those producers who are in those rooms and everything. But if you do like full beats and drums, it's you gotta be in person with this artist to actually get a place. And if you're not in the room, it's almost not possible, in my opinion. Like, there's always the chance, like, sometimes it's going to happen, but the chance, like, fairly low, I feel like. And so I'm always trying to also expand and also work with, like, people from Europe, for example, like in
Yeah.
Germany. I'm trying to work more with, like, French artists, to be honest, because I love the language. And I also had some really great experience working with some French people already.
Mhm.
There's also a really crazy song coming out. I can't tell too much, but it's coming out end of February this year. So in
Yeah.
like a month from now. And it's my favorite song that I produced so far. And it's gonna be in French. Yeah. I'm not gonna
Pretty
say too much.
excited for that. Yeah.
Be excited for it. I kind of we did this song in a songwriting camp in France,
Mhm.
and I kind of put everything. I made the beat first, the artist recorded on it. Then I did like the whole mixing. I brought like a couple people together. Like there was some like cello player in this camp, some violin player, some saxophone. Brought everything together and was just like, yo, let play on it, and it just came together like, in such a crazy way. Like I love the song. I love the song. Actually, I'm gonna show it to you after we're done with like the official thing.
What about like, do you have any relationships with like mixing engineers or mastering engineers or recording engineers?
Not any that I can name right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I'm more
Mhm.
connected with like producers, and I'm also trying to, of course, mix and master on my own as well. Like
Well,
mostly mixing because I'm not
mhm.
really like certified mastering engineer, and I don't have the studio for that. But yeah, I'm trying to do that. If I'm working with artists, for example, I'm always also trying to do like the mixing part as well in the studio. Because I feel like, in my opinion, that should be the job of a producer. It should be to produce a song and not only make a beat, but you producing your song is also mixing, it's also mastering, it's also arranging, it's so many things at once. And I feel like I just want, like, I still love mixing and mastering engineers, of course, but I just am more of a fan to, be able to do all of that by myself. And I don't want to be in a session and be like, if the artist is there, like, ready to record, and he's like, yo, can we record? And I'm like, no, bro, we got to wait on the mixing engineer.
Yeah.
That will be like, no. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's record right now. Let's mix it right now. Let's master it right now. Let's get some fucking strings on it. And I feel like that's so important as a producer to be able to do that.
I think every producer should learn how to record artists. Like, that is...
Yeah, I mean, that's the essence of being a producer. It's not like making beats. That's also like, that's a beat maker, but being a producer is like you producing a song, and the song is like with vocals most of the time. Of course, sometimes there's instrumental music, but even if there's instrumental music, you also got to learn like the engineering part. If you record live instruments, it's the same as like recording a vocal, for example. I mean, it's still different, but same like type of process. And I feel like it's important to, be able to bring like this vision together, to not only make a beat, but craft like a whole song with or without vocals at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, have you thought about building any artists or anything?
Been doing that with Chancito. I've been working with him quite a lot. We did like so many songs together. We actually did like a full album last year. We did it like a year before, but it came out like last year. And we worked so hard on this. It's my first executive produced album where I produced literally like every track, mixed every track, also mastered everything, did like the artwork. So I just went like full into that and tried to do everything with him together, just us two. I mean, there's also other people involved, of course, like some, for example, Wizard, we got them like a couple times on there, play some extra guitar on it. Also, he made like a bunch of samples on there that I used, and some other sample makers like Janosch, for example, like Vegas, who's like a Russian producer, crazy guy. We got Dierks on there, who's like a French producer. So I tried to bring the community on this project also together. But yeah, this is like the first executive project that I did. And I'm trying to do that more. I'm always open to work with like any artist. If I see something in them, it doesn't need to be like a big team or big marketing, whatever behind it. I'm always like, if the voice is good and if it makes me feel something, I'm always down to work like, with whatever. So yeah, I'm like, Chancito is probably like the only one right now that I really like, because I also know him, like we know each other like personally like really well. We're also like really good friends, and it's just easier to work in person, because otherwise all these other artists I'm working with are like a little bit more far away. So it's hard to do like in-person sessions. If you like in LA, for example, it's like how should we do it, So yeah, but I'm always a fan of, I'm actually a bigger fan of like building with artists and making your own stuff than like chasing placements. It's always like, in my opinion, I prefer that, because it's much more fun and you can actually do whatever you want, and you don't gotta be like, yo, this beat needs to be simpler and maybe just send that and just do that. And I don't know. I feel like excluded from the process if I'm chasing placements. If it's like, yo, send stems and I don't even know what it's for. Like, I mean, of course I'm going to do it and hopefully get lucky, but it's so unpersonal and doesn't feel like making music. You don't have those magic moments you have when you're like in the studio and you're just making a beat, and then this artist standing next to you and it's like singing like crazy stuff, and you're like, yo, this is right now. You don't. Those moments is why I love doing music, and so yeah, always down to build.
I mean, collaborations and then working with artists, and then they also listen to stuff that is completely different from your world, and then like you guys are sharing your references, and it's like you're like going crazy over it. It's just like that synergy is also just super important. Yeah. And you like mature also as a producer.
It's also like more of the role of a producer. You can't expect artists to just, you made the beat and now my job is done.
Yeah.
No, like you got to sit with the artists, find like melodies together. Maybe I'm also always trying to help with like songwriting. I'm not really a good songwriter, to be honest. Like I'm not really confident in that, but sometimes you have like a right idea and you're like, yo, maybe you can talk about that. Sometimes it's like one word. Sometimes it's like one little inspiration that you give the artist. You're like, yo, maybe you can talk about this topic. And like, yeah, I can talk. Oh, I have this idea, and then it just starts going. And that's also a part of being a producer. To produce a song, like songwriting is a part of that. If
Mhm.
even I feel like it's the most important part. Like find the best, perfect melodies and find the perfect lyrics for it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the song would not sound as good,
I
So
agree. All right, I think it's time for the breakdown.
yes, sir.
Let's do it. So you're gonna be breaking down Nautica, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Uh,
it's this new track I'm gonna release on February 7th, so in like a week from now.
mhm.
And yeah, I would just love to break that down. I made everything inside FL Studio, like mainly, and then I mastered it inside this program called Luna by UAD.
Shit.
So I would just show you the file inside of FL Studio because this other stuff is literally just like a little bit of mixing and just enhancing what I already had. But I just want to show you like the creative part of it.
What's the number one question you hate when people ask
What's on your
about
master?
like
What's on your
yeah,
master?
and
Always the question I had. Just
you know what question I'm gonna ask you?
what's on your master?
Exactly.
Because it's like this. In my opinion, this question is just like stupid because it doesn't make any difference. Like you can use whatever and it's gonna sound whatever, but it doesn't gonna change your sound or gonna do like something
Yeah.
for you. It's so weird. You always and
I
then
mean, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
telling the truth. I'm like people ask me and I'm like, yo, I'm using Fruity Limiter, and they were like, no. I'm like, yes, bro, I just taught you. And they're like, no, you're lying. I'm like, okay, if you don't believe me, like just use whatever. But I'm using Fruity Limiter, bro. I'm not lying, bro. Shit's real.
Yeah, when I saw that, like I was like, what the fuck? There's no way he's using Fruity Limiter, and then you were actually showing like the stuff you were
Give me
doing.
one sec. Just, look at this project, bro. Look what's on the fucking master. I mean, there's a couple other ones, but still,
Yeah.
it's on there. It's on. It's on. It's not turned off. It's on. So, yeah. So yeah, on this track called Nautica, I wanted to create that like underwater type of feeling that just gives you like nostalgia. So I started with this first layer. I used like this D50 synthesizer
Mhm.
by Arturia. No, not by Arturia, by Roland.
Roland, yeah.
And it's just like this patch. It's like a most basic piano, like digital piano patch. I just played like these open chords with it. I can't hear shit, right?
Yeah, it's playing from the speakers. There you go.
Right, okay, here we go. So I played these open chords with it. A pretty simple pattern, but that was like the whole like starting of it really. Like I was just
Right.
okay, this already has like this vibe to it. So after I had it, I just layered it with another patch, like the same exact MIDI and everything. Just used the DH7 by Arturia, and then I played the same pattern. Just sounds a little bit different, like a little bit more clean and just a little bit more interesting. And then yeah, I just started to add like a bunch of more sounds. I think after I had this, I'm never a fan of using a metronome, so I always like to use like some sort of either drum loop or some sort of some rhythmic element that just so I don't rather listen to the metronome. So I did those drums right here. I did it with a plugin called JV 1080. It's also like by Roland. I got like
Right.
the Roland bundle before I made the sample, so I used like mostly stuff by them, and I made this really cool little drum pattern right here.
Oh my God.
It has like this really nice like 80 sound to it. And
Yeah.
after I had this, I was like, okay, together just with the layer, I'm just gonna play it real quick. I also filtered that out a little bit and bounce it as audio. It gives you already like this idea a little bit more. So yeah, after after that, I added some more rhythmic elements. I added this emulator. This is like this really weird patch on there that just plays like this rhythmic fill, and I just played like this really simple pattern. So just as a more like layer. Then I added this CMI sound, which is really nice, probably my favorite sound in there. It's called Just Beat It, and it does sound like Just Beat It.
Just beat it.
You know? And I just put it just like 2 notes in there, but it just gives it like a nice touch. Like some accents, you know, when we talk about ear candies, I feel like that's something that's like a little bit ear candy. Then I added another counter melody to kind of connect like the first half with like when the first chord comes in back again.
Right.
Did like this little melody with it.
Amazing.
I love this one also. It's like so high defined. It sounds like so
yeah.
It's really cool.
Like the sheen is there.
Yeah. And then just some chords. And for these chords, actually I had the first idea was to make them a little bit offset. So it's like not on the one, it's like a little bit delayed. Pretty cool, pretty like 80s. It sounds like the cyberpunk theme or whatever. But then I exported that as an audio clip and just moved it to the one. So it's not playing delayed, it's just playing on the one because I felt like it sounds better. Otherwise it was like confusing. But yeah, it's together with the chords. Yeah, after that, just a bass line, just to connect everything. I feel like bass is always important to kind of glue everything together. So I just wanted to go for like a really simple bass line, just did like the root notes. And then also this bass line is just omnisware, it's like trillion patch, but it does sound like pretty standard bass, you know, nothing too crazy. And yeah, just put that underneath it. To fill out the bottom a little bit, you know, to give it like more depth, really. So yeah, then I just added like, after that, I had like the main idea for this whole sample. Then I just arranged it a little bit and added like more stuff to some sections. For example, for this first section, I added like this other electric piano layer, which does sound is like the same chords as on the first layer, the same notes and everything, just a different sound. And I added some delay on it. It's just a standard sound, just like piano, and then I added like this delay on it. And really make it feel like more magical. And I also added this lead song right here, which is, in my opinion, also really cool. I don't have the preset for that anymore, to be honest. I kind of want to gatekeep that a little bit. Too good, bro. I'm going to show some cool lead stuff later. But yeah, this is like lead song. I'm trying to make lead songs sound like vocals sometimes, and I did that on here. I just played this really simple melody with it on the synth. And then just repeats, and then I just put like a couple effects on there. Put some chorus on there, some equalizers, some more chorus, some saturation with fragbox. Can't see that. Saturation with fragbox, some distortion, and then actually let me break it down real quick because I think that's something that's really cool. So without any effects, I'm going to show that again. Delete this one because okay, so this is without any effects. Then I added like this moke pattern, which add like a chorus. And over here it's like much wider. Right? 2, 3. Also a big fan of using bandpasses lately to really cut out like or just shape the sound like how I want it.
Yeah.
So bandpass, some more chorus to open it up again, some saturation. Here like those overtones a little bit. I added some distortion to it, used like this chord fire.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what. Just filter it all at the end because I felt like it was having too much noise. Add another bandpass. So it gets like those artifacts, but it's not like too crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like this kind of glues like everything together as well. It just sounds like a vocal a little bit when it's like played together. So yeah, after that, for this next section, I basically just used like a couple of layers that I already had, and for example, this like this like little bass sound, I just pitched it down 1 octave. And I chopped like this emulator stuff, like the little rhythmic stuff. I chopped it up a little bit and also pitched it down 1 octave to give it like a different feeling. Just arrange it a little bit.
Jesus.
Let me show you. That's the crazy. Oh yeah, here's the crazy one. So on this next one, I just really for this arrangement, I didn't really thought too much about it. I just kept on building one section after another. So I made like this section, these 8 bars, for example, tried to make it as perfect as possible, and then just moved to the next one, and then just did the same over and over again. So for this next one, I used like the D50 layer, like the first one, and just export it as an audio clip, put some filter on it, so it's like more in the background. And then this sound right here, oh my god, this is some sauce, bro.
That's the cryptic sound for sure.
I used like this plugin right here called SQ80. This is a preset name, and this is like my favorite lead song right now. I made this little pattern with it.
Yeah.
And then there's some variation right here. And actually, it does sound like a little bit different, like stock. It does sound like this. It's cool, but then I added like a flanger, some bandpass again. Now we love bandpasses over here, and then some delay. That's how we get like this really like filtered type of sound. Exported that as an audio clip, chopped it a little bit, as you can see, like this is the recording, just like playing at some parts. Then one thing I did, or I'm doing like most of the time, is I put some effects on it. I used fragments mostly, and then I just exported. Like I just put this on a channel. Don't know if it's still on here. And then I just put fragments on there. Just go through presets. Just make sure the mix on 100%. And I literally just went on here, just clicked like randomly, adjusted the mix real quick without listening, and then just exported this like a couple of times. I did this with like a couple of different presets without really hearing what I'm doing. And then I get like all these like weird recordings of random audio. For example, like this one.
Fucking hell.
Like some birds for some reason. And I just did it a couple of times, and then just took like those recordings and just chopped out like my favorite parts from there. For example, I got like this one. Super cool, like this little percussive thing. It's all like just happy accidents, but that's what it's really about, you know? And then like this little bird stuff you just heard. And this other like stretch lead sound. I think this one is really cool because it connects like the layers together. If I play everything. this
It's all from that one Edison session where you were just recording and messing around.
I just did like a couple times, but yeah, it's all that just from this sound, just from this lead sound, just processed differently. And then for this ARP, this is also pretty cool because I found this ARP on Splice. I think I just pitched to the right key, and it was sounding like whole different. Like if I played without the equalizer. Like this. Pretty cool, but it has like some notes in there that were not really in the key I was working in. So what I did was just adding an equalizer, bandpass again, super small, to only like fit out the frequencies that I really liked in there, that fit into the rest. I got this like really percussive little. It has like this nice ear candy touch to it. Then yeah, for this this right here is also pretty cool, this little layer, because it comes from like I exported the DH7. I exported that and then also run that through fragments. Or now I run it through motions.
Motions, yeah.
And then I got this sound out of this. I still don't know how that happened, but it just came out of this sound for some reason. I was like, damn, okay, this is like so. It also has some like, actually it sounds like, it has like this weird pitch at the end, but then I just cut it out and I was like, damn, this is like the perfect transition for some reason. So yeah, really like this stuff is so cool. Like those happy accidents is like really amazing.
Yeah, and like your process, even when you're making beats, how many happy accidents, like you experiment a lot throughout the
Everything
thing.
is a happy accidents, actually. Like every time I'm making something cool, it's all like happy accidents. It's most of the time something that I'm not trying to do. For example, like putting a reverb on an 808, and then you're like, fuck, I didn't want to do that, but actually it sounds good. You know?
Yeah.
That happens like so much. I also like to, do like drums on a beat, export those drums, and then just chop it up and just put it in like completely different places, to come up with like something more exciting. So yeah, it's all like there's so many happy accidents in here. I think also this sound. I mean, this is also the lead sound right here, but just stretched, and I think I pitched it down 1 octave.
Yeah.
But it does sound like, it gives you like this really nice texture, Really weird, but it adds like something to the background. And yeah, I think the rest is just like small detail. I can still talk about the outro because I added some more stuff to the outro. But then it's just like, again, those beat sounds. I added a couple like those risers. This one. I did like, I don't even know what this is. Yeah, some noise stuff I found like in some packs. Shout out to Baker. He's like a French producer. But yeah, then for this, I added like a couple more textures actually, like on the intro, for example. I also did like this little thing. Don't even know what this is. Just something I flipped and then, yeah, I have no idea. Maybe
reversed it. Dang.
Yeah, I have no idea what this shit is.
What plugin did you use to get that texture even?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out, but I have no idea. I made this like at fucking 5 a.m. high as shit, so I don't know. This. Oh, here we go. It's this one.
Damn.
Name. And then I think. Yeah.
Fuck.
Just does sound like this. I don't know. And then I just reverse it and just have it as the intro, and then add some like wave stuff like this one. Some more textures. I think it's all just textures right here. This one. Or I try to search for like underwater sounds and like wave sounds. Just like a bunch of different. Yeah, and then for the outro, oops, I just leaked my messages. Please cut that out.
No, it's not there. It's not there.
Okay, but and then for for the outro, I just wanted to, do like another section that feels like a little bit different. So I added like the space, which is playing the same notes. It's just like a different sound, more like acoustic, more dubby bass. And then I start adding the strings. It's like a couple different layers. This one. Then it's layered with another. Another one. And some more strings, like some more like melodies, because these were like straight notes. Some thrills as well. Love this outro so much. I feel like it comes together like so cool with the bass and then like this other like this little song right here. That just gives you like this crazy. I think I didn't use this one. Yeah, at the end, really at the end, I just added like this water texture, which is playing throughout the whole song, just like underwater, because I wanted to make it feel more like that. I also kept like pretty loud, but it's just playing throughout the whole thing. Those drums on there, it's not in the file. I just used it for testing, but these drums are actually pretty cool. Yeah.
It definitely adds to the vibe though when you're listening to it.
Yeah, I also liked it, but then I was like, especially this part right here, I just chopped it right here, and I feel like this song is so crazy. Listen to that. It's right here. Oh yeah.
That's so crazy. How like you have a lot of tracks that I mean you have a lot of layers too. And
Yeah.
what I love is everything. It's not like going all at once. It's everything has its like own space. It just
Yeah,
like
I
comes
tried.
out here and then.
Yeah, I did that by using a lot of like band passing on equalizers, so you can really like control what space you're using in your mix. I feel like that helped a lot, and then just trusting your ear and really just trying stuff out. Really, I feel like
Yeah.
everything in one pattern first, like all the melodies, just like played it, and then I just arranged and was like, yeah, I can move this element right here, can move this right here. Maybe I can chop it right here, so it's only playing like a couple parts of this. Same for this one right here, for example. So it's really about just experimenting, just trying to come up with like interesting sounds here and there, and transition and all of that. It's all about the details again.
Yeah, like even like I think you've understood like depth perception really well too.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm trying always to, to also make like those like different sections, for example, like the main section.
Mhm.
It's like it gets like a little bit more. And then after that, you just, I don't know, it just feels right to make a section that is like way more empty or feels more empty. More empty right here. Always about like, just creating like those, I'm always thinking of it like if it would be like a movie. A movie is not
Mhm.
always like always action, always running and whatever explosions. It's sometimes it's gotta be chill and then it goes back into the action. So it's always I'm
Mhm.
trying to see that as actual like a movie scene. So it's like
Mhm.
starting right here on the intro, it's just like some like atmospheric shots right here. It starts for me personally, it sounds um like a cyberpunk aquarium. I don't know if
Yeah.
it makes sense, but that's what it sounds like to me. So you're driving like a motorcycle through that aquarium. There's like fishes everywhere. You start like, okay, okay, this is nice. Drive faster. And right here on this section, like you're putting your bike there, you just start walking
Mhm.
through the city. You're like, oh, this is actually nice. And then you notice like the detail.
So true.
Just starts and then at the end, I don't know there I don't know about the story, but there could be like some epic stuff happening on the string section or whatever. So I'm always trying to imagine like a little scene to whatever I'm doing. And I feel like that helps like so much with the arrangement as well.
And yeah, I think that it gives you more clarity in this section. This is what I want. The next section, where does it go? Which scene am I in? Okay, this is the scene. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Is that also how you think a lot?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's also like a good composition is like Interstellar, like
Yeah.
this the theme is like so impressive. It's like so huge. It's like so big sounding, but it's
Mhm.
actually on in the soundtrack or in the film, it's actually play like at one scene. It's not playing
Mhm.
throughout the whole scene. It's playing at one scene to make that scene the best, the craziest scene of the whole film. So
Mhm.
I try to use it the same way. Like don't, for example, I like this like lead song. I like it so much, but it's only as you can see, it's only playing one section in this whole like song. I feel like that's what makes it like so special to create like moments to not to to let it breathe also like to not let it play
Mhm.
like throughout the whole thing but to also play it at like just certain sections and then after that it's not going to come back. So if you want to listen to that again, you got to play the whole track back and listen to the whole thing.
Ah.
That's also that's something that I really like when I'm listening to productions. For example, if I listen to Travis Scott to like Utopia or something, there's like certain songs, for example, I know it's the best example. Like there's like on the first verse, there's like a yeah ad lib that's only on the first verse. It's not
Yeah.
gonna come back. It's like two times. There's like one with reverb and then like one super dry. But it's
Mhm.
only like this moment's only happening at once in this whole song. And I feel like that's what makes it special. Like I listened to that to the first time, I was like, damn, what is this? Listening to the whole song, I was like, damn, I gotta listen to it back because it was so fire. Right? That's
Mhm.
why I like try to see music more as like moments. You create like moments within your artwork, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like this breakdown completely shows that like exactly like what you're talking about, like the details, like all every specific things, even from the layers that you have,
Yeah.
they each and everything plays like a really vital role.
Everything like you don't gotta I mean there's still like there's a lot of stuff going on like
Yeah,
there's not it's not like a simple sample or whatever but at the same time like
yeah,
I feel like I try to use every element that is in there. It should have like a purpose. There's no element in there where it's like it's just there. Like everything
mm,
base has its purpose. Like these, even if it's like this main sound is layered with like three other ones with like the electric piano right here. This is the main sound, and then this other electric piano. But everything makes sense. For example, if I play it,
mhm.
let me play it again real quick. For example, if I just play this one, it does sound nice, but it sounds too empty. Together with this one, it gets like the depth
Yeah,
more full. And then this last one is just there to fill the top space.
mm,
All the three sounds make up one sound, but it's actually three layers. So everything has like its purpose, and I feel like that's so important when you make when you create music, you know? Yeah.
How did you learn like that like depth perception? Because that's a very
I don't
that
know, bro.
just now you what you showed was just crazy. Like
I think I didn't really learn it. I
picked it up.
I just gotta feel like, okay, this is not sounding right to me, so I'm just gonna do
Mhm.
it till it sounds right. And then I did this day, I was like, oh, now it's like where I wanted to have. Like sometimes I just imagine like what it's gonna sound like, and then I'm just trying to get there. But I didn't
Mm.
learn it like professionally or anything. It just came naturally, I would say. I don't know. Yeah.
What about the reverbs and delays that you're using? They sound very interesting too. Like
Which one?
the
Sorry.
reverbs and the delays that you're using.
Oh yeah. Also, let me check real quick. D50. Okay. I think on there on this first one I used, yeah, it's a stock reverb, so it's already in the sound.
Hmm.
Um, I think for this, yeah, for this one I already showed it, but it's like, oh no, it's the private tab. I use private tab for this
Yeah,
electric piano.
fucking
It's
sick.
great, like
Hmm.
retro reverb works perfectly. And then for this other one, for the third one, I used, where's this one over here? I used no reverb as well. It's just like on the first one, really. I think there's
Mm.
a little bit stock reverb on the first layer, which already gives it like this feeling, and then like this delay on the last one, it's like brings everything together, makes it sound like bigger, you
Down.
know?
I think
Kind
we've
of
covered a
breakdown.
lot of good stuff. I think everyone's getting way more than they asked for. I mean, they've learned like a lot of things and a lot of personal stuff about you that
Yes,
even
sir.
I'm learning. It's just so crazy. Like
I'm so
the
glad to also thank you so much for having me on there, man. It feels really great to, tell a little bit more because I was always hiding behind like more behind the music, which is always,
yeah.
I always want to let the music speak first. That's something that I would never change. But at the same time, I feel like it's time to, show myself a little bit more, talk about like my story and just, show the people like I'm, I'm just a human too,
Hmm.
because some people don't believe me. Some people really think I'm, some shit. But I'm just like a kid who has a dream from Germany, and I'm just trying to make it happen. So it's time to, show that to the world, really.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally doing God's work, man, and like you're also building like a fucking great community. And like every time you do something, everyone's very inspired. A lot of people, even the producer community, can be weird too. I mean, everyone knows that because they don't share anything on Gatekeep a lot too. But you
Yeah.
know, like the more you're opening up, the more people are catching onto that, and then they're like, "Yo, I fuck with this heavy."
Yeah. And
And
also, I just feel like, it's, um, I'm also like, if I'm seeing like a producer profile and I'm only seeing like visuals and everything, I'm like,
mm,
why should I, like, if I don't see a person behind it, like, I'm not really interested in following that.
yeah,
Because like why should I, it just seems like a factory that just creates like stuff. And I always I feel like I did like a good job already, like by putting like personality into that, but now
mm,
it's time to really um show my face more and just
yeah,
talk to people and just
yeah,
open up really and not really hiding myself anymore. um yeah, I mean, it's about time. Like, I was always a little bit scared, to be honest, of like other people's opinion on myself because I was not too confident. I'm still having some struggle with that, to be honest, but I'm just at the time where I'm just saying like, fuck it, to be honest. Like, why
yeah,
should I be scared of anything, and why should I be scared of people, how they like judge me? Like, they gotta judge me anyways. No matter what you do, you can be the best looking person in the world and people still gonna hate on you, bro. So example, take like Margaret Robbie, for example. People
mhm.
say like she's like ugly, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? So I feel like it's
Well, you're
just
saying that I'm wearing a fucking mask.
why do you do that, bro? Like, mask, bro. It's time, bro. It's time. I
I mean,
definitely
yeah,
feel that.
man, it's so scary. I mean, you've also experienced it. Like, you have to put yourself out there, and like
I had the
it.
same as you probably right now. I also I've had like not really confident, and it still feels weird to me. Like right
Yeah,
now, like even looking at, that's why I always look down and stuff because I can't really look
yeah,
like at
yeah,
myself. Like, how can it just feels weird to talk to like camera or something. But I mean, like we only live once, and people forget about anyways. Like, okay, why? If even if I show my face right now, like most people gonna forget about it in like 2 seconds and not gonna remember it. So I don't really care about it anymore. I just want to be myself. I just want to leave like a legacy in this world, and the only way to do it is to show myself, and really leaving like a.
It's kind of liberating too, eh? It's very liberating too to just like.
It feels good. I can just be myself, and I don't really gotta be like anybody else. I can just be me, and that's good. That's all I need to do.
Fuck, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing your time, your advice. Is there anything you would like to share? Anything you would like to shout out before this podcast ends? Or
definitely, shout out my parents, of course. Gotta put them first. Shout out my mom for always believing in me, always doing everything she could to help me to get where I'm at. Shout out to my dad. I hope I can make him proud. And shout out to all my friends, all my producer friends. Shout out to shout out to my peers, my friends, my producer homies, the artists I'm working with. Shout out to everybody that fucks with me. I fuck with me too.
Let's go.
Because if I start dropping names right now, I think I gotta do that for like a couple ones, and it's too much.
And that wraps up the episode with Cryptic. I hope you guys enjoyed and gained some value on the producer's journey and insights of the future as much as I did. This is my first podcast, and I'm thrilled to kickstart this adventure with you guys. Let me know what your favorite part of the interview is and who I should interview next. Drop your suggestions in the comments, and let's make this the hub for forward-thinking producers and engineers, or even creative people with futuristic endeavors or autism in mind. So subscribe to the channel, and until next time, keep exploring, stay locked the fuck in, and continue to push the limits of what you thought was possible. This is Ramencoke signing out. Catch you on the next one.